Hey moms, it's Nakimi and welcome. This is the channel and space for single mothers navigating motherhood. And as always, we are not here to bash the baby daddies. The kids are here. We're here now. So let's just keep it respectful. And we're going to focus on our healing and talk about all topics concerning single mothers. So today I want to talk about the benefits of getting into therapy, especially if you are a young single mother. If you are a young single mother that was raised by a young single mother. When we talk about breaking generational curses, this is what we're going to be talking about today. One of the benefits that you get with therapy is unbiased advice. I know, because this was me, it's easy and it's so convenient to get on the phone with your besties and be like, girl, let me tell you what mofo did today. Okay, that was me. I had nicknames for my baby daddy when I was upset, just in case my baby popped up in the room, because I was definitely the parent that sent her out of the room when I was talking grown folk stuff. But just in case she was ear hustling like her mama used to do, I didn't need her to know I was talking about her dad. So yeah, but I know it's easy to get on the phone with your besties and talk. But keep in mind, they're your peers. So they're experiencing life at the same rate that you are. And for me, luckily, my friends at the time also had children. So our children are like around the same age. And so they understood it was relatable, right? It was more so trauma bonding. Now, this is no shade to friendships at all, because I needed my girls and my girls held me down. Shout out to my girls at the time. I'm forever grateful. But what I do now that I'm in therapy now and at the age of 45, I really wish that it had been more popular, especially in the Black community 24 years ago. Again, there wasn't social media. There wasn't like when being raised by a single mother. I was raised by a single mom. It wasn't talked about. I never heard my mom say, I'm going to go to therapy and talk about getting into therapy and things like that. So thank goodness I'm in therapy now. But there's so much that I'm learning about how your mental health impacts everything. And sometimes you're in survival mode as a single mom. You don't even know that you're in survival mode. That's like you could be so far gone and so far knee deep in the trenches, like lower than duck knees in it, okay? That you think that it's normal. I mean, you know that there's something wrong, but you don't quite know where to start because you're just all over the place. You could have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So if you were raised in a single home and your mom or dad was not emotionally available, or maybe you were SA'd when you were a child, or the M word, lested when you were a child, more than likely you are experiencing some form of PTSD. When we think of PTSD, I know because I always thought of like war veterans. But no, you can have PTSD stemming from childhood trauma. One of the things that I've learned is learning how to scan the room, and things like that. So automatically, as a child, if you have childhood trauma, you're automatically put in defense. So every little bitty thing could trigger you. You don't even know that it's triggering you. It stems, or it can bring about, I would say, anxiety, depression. Anxiety could just be that you're always overwhelmed. Every little bitty thing that goes wrong, you don't have the emotional intelligence to decipher that it's just a bad day and not a bad life, right? You've got society coming at you. You may have family members that sit up and talk about you like you are a stray dog, okay? Maybe your mom and was disappointed in your choices. You're now in this world, especially like in this day and time, social media. So say, for instance, you got pregnant right after high school and now all your friends are, living their best life. That can also be very triggering for you. Baby daddy drama. If you don't have that support. There was a person on YouTube, and I can't think of her page, that basically said the success of a mother is going to be contingent, and I'm paraphrasing, the success of a mother is going to be contingent upon the love that is poured into her. And that is true. I want you guys to think about something. Have you been in this situation or ever known, like, say, for instance, your mom, when she was loved by a man, she just seemed so much nicer. Like her mood was just good, or you yourself, like when we're in love, everything is just peachy and roses. Hey, y'all, we feeling all good because you feel so much better. You feel loved. And so if the mom of these kids, like if you're a single mom and you are struggling and no one is pouring into you, it's going to show up in your life, and it's not going to show up in a positive way. Very few can really handle everything thrown at them and still just walk through life. Depression could look like jumping from man to man. Okay. So if you have noticed that, dang, I tried with Jack and we had a kid, that didn't work. 4 years later, I tried with Bill. We had a kid and we broke up. Not saying that it was all your fault, but taking accountability can look like, I didn't know. I was dating and operating from this perspective or through this lens. And I need to know better. I need to know what is going on with me and why am I attracting this? What is going on? Because that's definitely not healthy. People pleasing could be one of them. Also, if in a relationship you're afraid to be alone. So this is why you put up with a toxic partner. It could be literally over there whooping your butt, dog walking you, and dragging you, and maybe it's not even physical, right? Maybe he just cheating. Maybe he just ain't got nothing going on, or he laid up and he's not working, but you are, and you're sitting here wondering, like, you can't even see that this type of man is not good for you, but a piece of a man is better than no man. If you've ever been in that situation, then you definitely or you're in that situation now, you need to go to therapy, sweetheart. You definitely need to get yourself into therapy and start talking about your childhood and let a therapist help you, because your peers are not certified to do that. They're not certified to do that. If everything that your baby daddy is doing is triggering you, right? And it could be that he just is young and dumb, and right, you both are young when you had your kid or kids. Okay. But everything should not trigger you, right? Every time you see his name, I had mine as my little girl's dad. So I didn't even have his name saved, y'all. I was just upset. So, but that's not healthy. That wasn't healthy for me, and it wasn't healthy for him. And there were times where he would call and he probably came in peace, but I was so upset to where I had an attitude when I picked up the phone. Like, what do you want? Like, that's not healthy. So again, if this is you, laugh about it, but then go and get yourself into therapy, because you're only gonna be, after a while, like when your kids are grown, it can drain so much out of you because you've been through so much, and now you're just trying to like figure out, okay, how do I get me back? And I could tell you, the old you 20 something years ago, 18 years ago, before your kids, that person's gone. Okay. You're going to have to find the new you. You're going to have to rediscover you, and that's okay. But you definitely want to get into therapy. Everything is going to start with your mental health. Your mental health impacts not only the quality of your life, It impacts if your home is happy, right? And we talked about happy home is equivalent to a safe environment for your children, right? If you're stressed out and you're in fight or flight, or you're overwhelmed, underwhelmed, interwhelmed, all of the whams that there are in life, it's going to show up in your kids. Your kids are feeling your energy, right? They're feeling your energy. And that trickles down to, again, what type of friends they choose, how they behave in school, if they know how to manage their little emotions. Also, it could look like, the ability to function every day. Like sometimes you could pick up bad habits like drinking or smoking weed to marijuana, whatever you want to call it, to keep your mind steady. You should not have to smoke marijuana all the time to do it, to just function. There's some type of trauma there, and that goes to whether or not you have kids or not. But you definitely want to be aware of any type of vices that you may have, any type of bad habits that you may have. Therapy also can help you rediscover like some hidden talents that you have. How do you get out of survival mode? How do you get out of defense and start playing offense? How do you call the plays versus watching to see what play is going to be made? I don't watch football, but I imagine that's how it goes. So yeah, I really think that, and I would like to see more single mothers take their mental health serious and get into therapy. If you have insurance on your job, that needs to be the first thing that you need to start doing. Contact EAP, I think it's Employee Assistance Program, and just see there are some programs that may be in place at your job, at your church, or whatever. And I'm going to tell you also, on your first round of therapy, it's also like vetting out a man. That may not be the first therapist may not be right for you, but don't give up. Find the therapist that's right for you. Find the therapist that's going to be able to relate to you, that has been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt for it. So they kind of know what you're going through, and they're not just giving anecdotal advice. They're giving advice from experience, their experience in mental health, PTSD, domestic abuse. Like, you really want someone that has been trained on how to handle women and things of that nature. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you think. And I would like to see us take care of our mental health. As always, you got this, mamas. Keep doing your thing. And it can be okay. Till next time, I love you guys. Bye.